Okay, I think they're both recording at the same time. I would film this video on my camera, but my camera battery died. I filmed like 4 different videos on that. And I don't know how many of those videos I've filmed are gonna be up. It was just kind of me I just had a lot on my mind. I just had to get it off my chest. So I did. So yeah, this is like today's episode. Today's video. First of all, hi, welcome back. Oh my gosh. Meh, meh, meh. Meh, meh, meh. Anyway, I got a text. Um, Anyway, so in today's video, I'm going to be talking about kind of more of, I don't know what I'm going to title this. Oh my gosh, I was talking a lot. Oh, ew. You know that like white that you get on your lips when you've been talking a lot? It's all over my lips. Oh my gosh, ew. It's so embarrassing. I don't know if I'm going to title this video, but this is going to be me just talking about a realization that I have recently come to about basically kind of like my life in a way. And kind of like, I don't know if this will be inspirational to other people, but I just wanted to make a video just talking about it. And if I post this, then that's great. If I don't, then it was just for me to just like get it out of my chest, you know? Oof. Sorry about that. But yeah, just to get off my chest. So, what was I talking about? Oh yes, my epiphanies. So, I've come to the realization, and it's mostly with school. So, if you don't know me, this is your first video you've seen of me, my name is Nanda Cash. I'm 22 years old, and I'm currently in grad school. I'm attending SNHU, South New Hampshire University, online. So, with me being online, that means I'm in the house a lot, but also it just means that my structure for school is a lot different than it was at New Paltz. I attended to New Paltz for my undergrad degree, for my bachelor's degree, and I'm currently getting my master's degree at SNHU, and I do plan on going to school more after this degree to go get my MFA, so that's a whole other topic, but I've come to the realization with school. So if you haven't known my my grad school like kind of journey, basically I had an idea for 5 schools I wanted to apply to, and only applying to 2 of them, and both of them rejected me. So after school, after graduation, when I graduated college, I was like, okay, I was basically graduating college on the wait list for one school. I got rejected from one of my schools. I was waitlisted for another school. So I was like, okay, when I get, I was like, I'm going to have faith that, I'm going to get in. And then I'll be on the wait list, but then I'll be off the wait list in the summer. They'll say they want me. I'll accept. And then by God's grace, he'll cover the cost, because that school was an expensive school. It was an Ivy League school. It was very expensive, very pricey. And, I'll be able to afford it by God's grace, and then I would go in and then start my, I was going for a film MFA, and mostly for screenwriting, but I was going for that, but it was a film MFA, and that's what I was going for, and I was just going to go for it, and then study film, have a passion, and then boom. Also, the reason why I was doing film was because I remember with undergrad, with my bachelor's degree, I was too scared to apply to film schools because I didn't really have, I just didn't think that I would get into any film schools, if I'm being completely honest, so I never even thought to apply to any film schools. I just applied to schools that just had good degrees. Just had good majors, and all of them had creative writing in them. So I was like, let me just play it safe and just do creative writing. And then I don't regret applying for creative writing, but I just knew the reason why I didn't go for film is because I was too scared to. So that's why I'm mentioning that now. So then I did creative writing, and then I ended up doing minoring in film in college, and then I loved it, didn't regret it for a second. And then it came to me with grad school. So I was like, okay, I'm going to take a leap of faith and just apply to grad school for film. And then if I don't get in, then that's fine. But the one flaw I will say, I only applied to 2 schools. One, because I forgot that, because with undergrad, when you're in high school applying to colleges, you have this thing called Common App, and they paid for majority of your, you could pay for up to 10 applications you get for free. With grad school, you don't get the Common App thing. You just have to pay for the applications out of pocket. And I was like, okay, that was a lot of money. So that's why I only applied to 2 schools, because I was like, oh, I have to pay these applications. So that's why I only applied to 2 schools, because I wasn't applying to one school for creative writing, but then I didn't. I think the reason why I thought was because I had to do a college interview, and I didn't want to do it. So I'm not going to get into it. I didn't apply for creative writing. I just applied for film, partially because I did want to take a leap of faith and just trust that, like, if I'm meant to be for film, I'll go for it. So that's what I did. And then I didn't get to either schools, and I was like, great. Now what do I do? So I was waitlisted for a long time during the summer, but then I was kind of panicking because I was like, okay, what if I don't get in? And then what am I going to do if I don't get in? Like, what's my plan C? So I had a plan C, which was to do what I'm doing right now, go to school online, and then go for my MFA in person. So that's what I did. I decided to go to SMHU, and the thing is, I was going to go for my MFA at SMHU for creative writing, and they were like, you're not ready for that yet, but you can do your MA. And I was like, wow. Okay, MA it is. So now I'm studying my master's degree in creative writing with a concentration in screenwriting. And then I'm going to go for my MFA. I don't know in screenwriting or in creative writing. I don't know if I could do both. If I can, I would. Because the reason why I'm going for my MFA is because I'm trying to be a college professor in either creative writing, screenwriting, or both. Because I love screenwriting. I also love creative writing. So I would love to teach both, because a lot of writers are professors regardless, which for a long time I didn't want to be a professor. I just wanted to be a writer. But then I realized that, like, professors, they do get paid a good amount of money, and also it is nice to have a job that you can pay your bills with. But also, I also realized that a lot of writers, like even successful New York Times bestseller are novelists, they all still have like a 9 to 5. Basically, they all are professors. Like almost every single one that I read recently, it has a professor. And I'm like, oh, so that's normal for people to be professors. And also, a good job for writers to have is to be a professor. So basically, regardless, being a professor was going to be in my plan regardless. So I was like, oh, okay. So now I'm going to get my MFA to be a professor, because either get your MFA or get your PhD. And I was thinking about getting my PhD, but I didn't think about that when I was in college, or else I would have applied for the PhD program right after getting my bachelor's. Because doing a PhD, that's a lot of time in school that I don't want to do. Like, I want to be done with school by the age of 26, 27, the latest. I want to be done by 27. Like, I don't want to be in school anymore after that, because that's a lot of money to pay off, one. But two, I'm at the point where I'm slowly getting tired of school. And I'll get into that in a second. But I didn't want to be in school. I didn't want to be in my 30s still in school. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be able to, like, live my life by that point. So that's why I was just like, no. So I don't think I'm going to get my PhD. Then just go for my MFA. Blah, blah. So now I'm getting my master's degree. And my first semester was great. I only took one class because I was like kind of late with applying to the college I'm at right now. So I was only able to kind of get just one class, which was fine. And I loved it. I enjoyed the class. The next term, however, because with my school, since it's online, every term is 10 weeks. So basically we have 10 weeks, we take a break, and then we go back another 10 weeks. Which, for me, from going to school for 4 years, doing 4 months at a time with a month break for winter break and 3 months break for summer break, that's a big adjustment to do. 10 weeks of school, 1 week off, and then go for another 10 weeks. It was a big adjustment. Like, the first semester I was fine, but then the next semester I was like, okay, I did not. And mostly was because one of the classes I was taking in that term, I was not happy with that class. I passed, though. By the grace of God, I passed. Thank you for that. I passed the class, and I never take the class again. But with this class, I realized that with grad school, I am taking, like, grad school, I had the expectation that because I was going for creative writing and screenwriting, that I would be taking, like, basically, like, I would have 1 or 2 classes I don't like, but majority of my classes I would love. But so far, I've come to realize that out of the five classes I've taken in my school so far, 3 of them I've liked, 2 of them I despised. One significantly more than the other, because I was bored. I was failing that class for a long time and I passed. But, like, I've come to the realization that I'm gonna be still taking classes I don't like, which made me, I was not expecting that. It made me upset because it wasn't what I was expecting. So because of that, I was, like, a bit upset about that. But then also I realized that school is kind of getting in the way of me being able to, like, do what I really want to do, which is YouTube, podcasting, but mostly more creative projects like short films and like just like music videos that I want to make and writing my novel. Like I haven't had time to do that because I've been like, if I wasn't doing YouTube and podcasting, then like yeah, I would have more time to do it because I'm trying to be consistent with my platforms. But like at the same time, it's like I love YouTube, and even if like I'm not getting paid now, and I'm still wanting to do it. So it's like YouTube is a way for me to basically, it's an outlet for me to have, and I don't want to get rid of it. Like I don't want to like just let go of it just so I can focus on school because that's boring to me. But the classes that I've been taking in my school, like my fiction fundamentals class, for example, I love that class. It's so much fun. It's kind of like, it's a little bit of review for me, kind of like I kind of already know what we're learning about, but I still like the class. I still think it's fun. My literary theory class, on the other hand, it's not that it's I was gonna say it's not that it's boring. It's not that it's like miserable. I'm not miserable in the class, but I don't like it. And with this class, certain readings that I had to read, I'm very like, I feel I don't understand a lot of the readings I'm reading because a lot of it's just like kind of just like mumbo jumbo and like a bunch of old people talking about literary lenses, and I'm just like I had to read several things from Sigmund Freud, who created the psychoanalysis lens. And if you're already falling asleep by me talking about it, imagine how I feel reading like 20 pages of it. So yeah. Now here's the thing: it is interesting to read about, but I just think maybe if I was in person with this professor, like maybe it'd be more fun. But because it's online, it's very boring. And I've come to the realization that I hate taking boring stuff. I hate uncreative classes. I hate uncreativity. I hate not being able to be creative. It makes me sad. It makes me miserable. I don't like it. I realize that whenever I do something creative, like prime example, if I'm focusing on a YouTube video, like there's a lot of YouTube videos that I want to make. Like I want to make YouTube videos where I'm recreating iconic scenes from like movies and TV shows, and that takes more than like a day to film. I can't film those videos because I'm too busy working on my 3-page paper on Sigmund Freud, or I never had to do that, but that's an example of something that I would do. Or like I'm busy reading 20-page articles about the psychoanalysis lens or Marxism, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't understand this, I don't like this. So because of this, I've come to the realization that, well, one, I also realized that like after undergrad, I needed to take a break from school, but I didn't do that because I wanted to take a gap semester, but then with my degrees, I couldn't start them in the spring, which sucked because I defeated the whole purpose of me wanting to take a gap year. Because it's not that I didn't want to go to school anymore. I just wanted to take a break because I needed time to mentally just heal from my fiasco of a senior year of college and just my last year and a half of college because of COVID happening and everything. Like I needed time to like just ease my mind, ease my brain, and I didn't get that. So I've decided to take a break. I'm not dropping out. I was thinking about dropping out like several times, especially in my second semester of grad school. I was like, oof, this linguistics class is hitting a little too hard. It's making me feel a little too stupid. I was really miserable in that class, and I was really thinking about dropping out. But then I was like, if I drop out, I'm gonna still have to pay these loans. So it kind of defeats the purpose, you know, like I don't want to waste my money. And then this semester, I realized that with my last semester, my linguistics class, I was failing it, then I passed it. So I was like, oh, maybe the reason why I was miserable is because I was failing the class. But then this semester, I have 96s in both my classes, and I'm still not liking school. So then I realized, okay, it's because I need to take a break. So my summer term, I'm going to be taking the term off. And I'm still gonna be graduating on time. Like I'm scheduled to graduate next year, and like I was supposed to graduate in January of next year, 2023. But then because I'm taking a summer off, I'm gonna be scheduled to graduate in April. So I came to the realization, which was nice. I'll have the summer off from school. I'll be able to decompress, and then I was happy about that. But then I realized that wasn't enough. I needed more time off. So next semester. This semester, with my linguistics class, my literary theory class, I was thinking, yo, this ain't fun. What is the purpose of me even taking this degree? Like, should I just drop out? Question mark. But then obviously no, because I don't want to. Because I just want to like graduate with I still want to be a professor. Like I feel like being a college professor in creative writing will be fun because I'll be able to teach something that I am passionate about. But then also I feel like there aren't enough good professors out there, to be honest. If I'm being fair, professors that are reasonable and that like think about the student and like the well-being of students, because I could go do a whole other video separate about just how teachers and professors are, like, a lot of them, not all, but a lot of them are very insensitive to students, especially when it comes to things like mental health. Like, don't get me started about high school and about how a lot of teachers were very insensitive to students about their mental health. I'm not even against that, but and even college professors, like when it comes to talking about like people's financial situations, like a lot of college professors, not a lot, but like a few, I had encounters with a few of them where they were just like, oh, go buy this, go do this. And it's like, bro, what if I don't have money for that? Have you thought of that? You know? So I want to be the change. I want to be one of those professors that like you take and you're like, thank you for like not being like a terror to society in college, because college is stressful enough. Even when you're studying something you're passionate about. Like I'm very grateful that I was able to go away to college and I had fun at college. But it doesn't mean it wasn't stressful. It was very much stressful, very much so. And I don't need a professor making it worse. You know what I mean? Like, I want to be that professor that makes college bearable. You know what I mean? Because I've had a few professors that I'm like, thank you for being the way you are, because you are a true blessing. There needs to be more of you, you know? And not because they gave me a A, it's because they were a good professor in general. Like, you know? Like, even some professors that, like, I was struggling with the class. I'm like, I was struggling with this class. Like, my British literature class, I was struggling to pass that class. Well, I was struggling to understand the readings that we were doing, but I got a B+ in that class, I think. But he was a good professor. The work was hard, but he was at least a nice professor, so like it balanced out, you know? But like there's other professors that are like my American literature class. I passed the class with like I think a B+ too, but she was a little mean, not to me, but to other students. She was like kind of like snarky for no reason. I'm like people want to go to the bathroom, and then she was like, oh, like if you want to go to the bathroom, can you like hold it? I'm like, you want me to pee on the floor? Like it was just weird. But I want to be the professor that is actually nice to students and actually cares about their well-being, including their mental health and also financial situations. So I think it's fitting for me, because the amount of times I have a lot to say about teachers. I have a lot to say, which I'll make another episode or video about, because I have a lot to say. I've recently come to the realization about my experience with certain teachers, and I'm just like, I have a lot to say about y'all. I have a lot to say. So it's like, you know, if you want to have a lot to say, you gotta have a solution to the problem that you're talking about, otherwise you're just complaining. So, yeah. So that was a little tangent, but that's why I'm trying to still go to school. But I realized that I need to take a break from school, which is what I'm doing. But next semester, I'm gonna be going part-time and just doing one class. But specifically, I was gonna be doing a English class, which is a creative class, a screenwriting, which I'm very excited about. I'm very excited about that class because it's screenwriting. Hello, I love screenwriting. And also, I will have more time to be able to make videos that are more time consuming but are more fun for me. Like, I'll be able to make the music videos that I've been wanting to make. Again, not me singing. I don't know how to sing. I need, like, I feel like I have the potential to be a good singer, but I would probably have to take classes, like vocal classes, because I've been told in the past that I can't sing, and that hurt me. It did. But I only take classes to do that. But not me singing. It's more of just like ASL, like music covers, but mostly music videos. Like I want to like tell a story with the songs. And the con about those is that like they do get copyrighted because it's someone else's music, obviously. But I still want to do them anyway, because hopefully one of the artists will see it and then they'll be like, hey, I like that music video that you made about my song, like for this song. You want to like write a music video for me? Like, hello? I would love that. Like, I would love that. So basically, I just want to work on projects that I've been thinking in my head for a long period of time, and I just want to put them out there, because I've realized with my ASL video, I talked about this before in other videos, but with my ASL video that I did about the song from AJR, Way That's Sad, and I've been thinking about doing videos like that for like 2 years, and I just never did it because I was like, it takes too much time. One time I just finally did it, and it was perceived really well. So I want to do more of those. But I want to do those on my time. I'm not going to do it because people are like, you need to do more of those. Why aren't you doing them? Like, I want to do it on my time because they take time to do. It's not just like a video that I could just sit down video and talk for like an hour or 30 minutes and then be able to edit. It takes time to like translate, and like it takes time. It's a lot of work to do in those videos. And also I want to work on other creative projects. Like I want to do videos where, like I said, like I create iconic like scenes from like TV shows and movies, but I also want to make short stories, like write short stories and like put them out. I don't there's like a lot of like writing competitions that you can do. I've never done those before. Like I think the only thing I've done with writing competitions was and New Paltz, they had like these yearly book publications, and I put my writings into those twice, and at one time I did get a poem that got published. So I have been published in a book, but I want to do more like just write a short story and then like send them out to like writing competitions, because like those, they can give you either like $20, or I can have them posted in a magazine like the New York Times, or just win money. And you know, that'd be nice to have money, because who doesn't like money, you know? So yeah, there's a lot of things that I want to work on that I have not been working on that I'm excited for. So I'm excited for the future. I'm excited because for school I have not been excited, and I'm excited for what life is bringing. And I think for like a long time I was being like very much discouraged from like really doing anything creative, because I was like, oh my gosh, I don't have any time to do anything, and it's making me very upset. But then I think it was because I think I just need to come to the realization that like you need to take a break from school. Like, you're still gonna graduate on time, but just take a break from school, you know? So if you are someone that is a creative person and that is in school, or like if you're in school and you realize that like school isn't doing it for you, it's okay to take a break. Like, I noticed that some people, like there's 2 people that like I watch on social media that they either took a gap year, or actually 3 people that took a gap year, a gap semester, I mean, to like for their mental health, but also because they wanted to do other things. And you know, and not that like I followed their footsteps, but I was just like, I think it's normal if you need to take a break. Like, there's nothing wrong with taking a gap semester, or like a gap break. There's a break in general. There's nothing wrong with that. I just had to like, not that I thought there was anything wrong with it, but it was just that I was so focused on graduating on time, because I wanted to graduate, because I want to graduate by 2023, so that way I can go to school in the fall in 2023 as well. So I realized that I can still take a break, you know. So a lot of good things to come. A lot of creative projects I'm going to be working on, which I'm very excited for. I have a lot of ideas. I have a lot, like, you see that board? I have, like, way more ideas than just those few ideas. Like, my podcast is just a safe space for me to just use. But my YouTube channel, I have a lot of videos that I am planning on filming. And another thing that I've realized that, like, that it was just me personally that I just had to overcome is that I'm not gonna lie, I was a bit scared to like work on something for a long time. Like, let's say I want to write a short film, or just write a music video, and then I took the time to write it, to film it, edit it, post it, and then for it to either not get the views I wanted to get, or for people to be like, you was so excited about this and it's kind of whack, it's kind of bad. I've also been thinking about that with my novel that I'm writing. Like, what if people don't like it? You know, like, what if people think it's bad? Or, like, what if it doesn't go anywhere? Like, I take all the time to do all that work just for it to go nowhere. You know what I mean? But then it's like, you won't know if you won't try, you know? And if it doesn't work the first time, just try again. Like, yes, it'll hurt that, like, you took a lot of time to do something and it didn't go well, but it doesn't mean you shouldn't continue to go. Like, I realized that, like, I was scared of, like, rejection, basically. And I gotta just, you know, you gotta just overcome it. Because I know in the movie Tick, Tick, Boom, with that guy, I forgot who the guy, like John Land. I'm so sorry if I don't know his name. But, you know, he literally was working on a play for 8 years, and then it kind of went nowhere. Like, he finally finished writing it. He got people to help him with the music, and he proposed it to people, and it kind of went nowhere. And he's like, okay, what do I do now? And then she's like, his agent's like, just write the next one. And he was like 30. He's like, I'm 30. Other people have like made their breaks in their late 20s, and I'm 30 years old and I still haven't done anything. And then he wrote a play for 8 years just for it to go nowhere. But then the next play he wrote was a success. So it was like, even if, let's say, my first novel, God forbid, my first novel doesn't do well, it doesn't mean I shouldn't stop writing, you know what I mean? And I also realized that, like, I just a writer thing in general, that, like, whenever, like, this, a song from AJR, it's, like, okay, Overture, where they have a line was, like, what if I run out of things to write? Like, what if I don't know what to, like, I max out all the ideas that I have, and I have nothing else to write about? And I think with certain YouTubers, too, that, like, after doing YouTube for a while, they kind of get into ruts of, like, not having ideas. And then I'm like, oh my gosh, like, what if I become, a established YouTuber, like YouTube is one of my incomes, and then I ran like videos to make, You know what I mean? Or like I don't have any good ideas. But then every time I think that, it's like, oh, like I have like 10, like the next day or next week, I have like 10 YouTube ideas in my head. And I think that was just kind of just like me having to realize that like, the reason I'm trying, I don't think I'm gonna cry, but I'm trying not to cry. But I think I think that was me just relying on myself, like with my ideas. And it's like, you could just rely on God to give you the ideas, because every time when I've said this a bunch of times in my other videos, like sometimes with YouTube, like I said, I've been doing YouTube for almost 4 years, and it's not at the expectation that I want it to be. Like I was thinking that I was gonna make money off of it by now, and I haven't. And sometimes a lot of times thinking about just giving up on YouTube. Like, oh, maybe it just wasn't meant for me to do YouTube. Like maybe it was fun while it lasted, but like clearly it's going nowhere. Maybe I should just move on, do something else. But then every time I thought about that, every time I prayed, asking God, like, should I quit? Should I just stop? Every time I've always had like 10 YouTube ideas that I can do. Like, oh, like a few days later, I'll think about other ideas. And I think it's just like, just wait on God's time. And like, I want to like make money off of YouTube, not because I want to like, I only do YouTube for money, but it's just so that I can have some financial like means, so I can just have money. Because you need money to live. That's the reason why. But I would do YouTube regardless of money. But I think also with like writing, like my writing, like I'm scared, like what if I run out of ideas to do? Like, I think it's just like, as long as I rely on God to help me, like I'll never run out of ideas, because every time, like literally every time when I'm thinking about, oh, I run out of ideas, the next few days, like I'll have like 10 more ideas to write about. And it's just like, I realize I will never run out of ideas. And the reason why is not because like, oh, I'm all that great. It's because God has blessed me with the gift of writing. Like I know that I have like, not to be cocky, but it's just to be confident in the gift that like I've been blessed with, that like I know how to write. Like, yeah, maybe it's not the best and it needs more work, but I have a talent that like I can, put out in the world. And I've been wanting to do this ever since I was like 8 years old. So it's time for me to just do it, Like I've done it like once in a while. Like I think I've always been just playing it safe. And I always wanted to go to school for it and doing just like my projects in my school, but then never like putting it out to the world, because I'm just like, oh, what if it's not good enough? Or like, what if it's not good enough? Or what if it's not like, I don't get the results that I was expecting, and I get let down and I get defeated, And I think it's just time that I just like overcome that. And here's the thing, I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, like, like don't feel that way, and then like you shouldn't be that way. Like it's okay to have feelings. Let's process that. It's okay to have these feelings. However, I'm no longer letting them control me, in the sense of like stopping me from doing it anyway. Like yes, it's understandable that like I feel that way, but I shouldn't let it stop me. And it's taken me a minute to come to this realization, and I've realized it now. So I just want to make a video just talking about it. And if you're a person that's like in my situation where you realize that like, you've been wanting something to happen, but it hasn't happened yet. Because I'm a Christian, I just like go to God and I'm just like, oh, like, God, like, am I meant to do this anymore? Like, let me know. And every time he's giving me an answer. And even if you're not a Christian, you can still ask God. You can still ask, ask him, because it's like, if I'm not gonna even talk about that, because then I don't want to seem like a hateful person. You can ask him if you want, but if you don't, then that's on you. No, I'm not trying to force my religion on you, man. No, just do. You can. I'm just saying you can, even if you're not a Christian, you can ask God for help. He's there for everyone. But that's what I've come to the realization of, and I'm very excited for my next few weeks. Like I end this term March 13th, but I'm probably gonna end a little bit earlier than that. And after that will be the beginning of a lot of projects, and I'm very excited for my projects that I'm gonna be working on. I was thinking about it, I think like last week, and I was like crying with tears of joy, because usually when I'm crying, I'm sad. But this was like one of the few times I'm crying with tears of joy, because I'm really excited for what's to come, and I'm really happy. I'm happy that I'm being happy, because, with people like me, it's hard to do that. It's hard to be happy about stuff. So I'm really excited about these projects, and I'm very, very hopeful that you guys are also excited about the projects when they come out. And, by the end of this year, I'll have a book either done or on the way of being published. Who knows? I hope so, because I want to have it done by now. I want to have it done by the end of the year, you know, at least just like it done so that it can be published or work on getting published, you know. So yeah, I'm going to be working on a lot of projects, and I'm very excited for the future. I'm very excited for what's to come. And I've been seeing a lot of people, like, I've also been having this epiphany, because it was like, I've seen a lot of people that, like, a lot of YouTubers or just creators in general, like, whenever I see a movie about creative people, it brings me joy, because it's just like seeing people that like work hard, have a passion, and they work hard and they become successful, even if it took them a little long. It's very rewarding. It's very happy, because I'm like, that's gonna be me. And I could look at people like that and I'm like, that's gonna be me. But I also realized that a lot of the people that I look up to, I don't know if I talked about this earlier in this video, or maybe it was one of my other videos, but a lot of the people, like a lot of the YouTubers and a lot of like artists or even like novelists that I look up to, like, not like idolize, but just like they inspire me. A lot of them, it took them a long time to get to where they are now. Like, prime example, Haley Pham. I love her. Like, she's one of my favorite YouTubers, and it took her, she was doing YouTube since she was 10, and then she didn't start making money off of her channel until she was 17. So she's been working on her, she was on YouTube for 7 years, and then she started making money. So, you know, the same with my family. I think she started ever since she was like 10, or maybe like, I think 7 or 10, and then like, for the past, like, ever since I think she was like 15 or 16, she was making money off of it, like, starting then. And even just like other like creators, like the movie Tick Tick Boom, that's like the last movie that I watched. And also another movie, La La Land, I watched that earlier, like last year when I went to Mexico with my family on the plane right there. That movie, when it was about Emma Stone's like character, like she was like trying acting for 6 years, and then she just, when she was about to give up, she finally made a break in her career, and then she became successful. Like, that's very like inspirational to me, because it's like you can tell the people that became successful, it took them a while, but then they finally got it. They finally got to that point. And another thing that I realized that like kind of just with aging in general, that like I felt like at this point, because some people, they make a video and they blow up overnight, and then it's like, oh, or like some people that like are your age, like you kind of have the same journey, you kind of start at the same time, and they pick up quicker than you. You're like, oh, why haven't I picked up yet, you know? And I think it's just like two people that like I am kind of inspired by is the actors John Krasinski and Matthew Gay Gubler. They both, I don't know how long it took them to like with their acting careers, but they didn't make their break in their acting until they were both 25. You know, because John, I don't know, I know before The Office, John Krasinski was a waiter, and he said when he went to do the role to play his character Jim Halper, he auditioned for the role, and then because he basically said that, like, because The Office, for those who don't know, The Office was actually originally a show from the UK. There's a UK version of The Office. So then The Office that American has watched from, like, Steve Carell, John Krasinski, and all the other characters, that's the American version of it. And when he came to audition for the American version, he was like, oh, I hope they don't mess up the show. And he didn't know that he was talking to one of the producers of the show. And he was like, oh, crap, I kind of messed up. So then when he auditioned for his part, when he finished the audition, he was like, I didn't get that job. I just low-key trash talked the show. I'm not going to get the job. So then he was like, went back to his waiter job and just thought life was normal. And then he got the call that he got the job, that he got the part. And then from then his career blew up. So I would say the same with Matthew Gay Gubler. He was a film student. He went to school for film, and then he was a film intern, and then he didn't, like, his breakout career was his role of Spencer Reed in Criminal Minds. But both of them were 25. I think Matthew Gay Gubler was 25. I think he was. If he wasn't, I'll put the right age he was on the screen if he wasn't 25. But both of them were in their mid-20s when they made their break. So it was kind of also like, if I'm not making my debut break right now, doesn't mean I won't in the future, you know? So I've come to the content realization that I am going to be someone great someday, because I was prophesied over when I was like 14. I would say that I would be something great, that I would like do something great. So, but it's just no one said when it would happen, you know? So it's not that like it's not gonna happen, it's gonna happen, it's just a matter of when. So I come to the realization that I'm no longer going to rush it, like, oh, when's it gonna happen? But I think the reason why I was rushing it to happen wasn't because of, it was like 10% me, 90% other people kind of like All right, what you gonna do with your life? What you gonna do? You know, like feeling pressure that I was gonna like I need to do something right now, or else I'm not nothing that I'm doing matters. You know, so I think with people with other people pressuring me, it kind of makes me get anxious and want to rush my God's time and like, all right, can you just hurry up now so people can like leave me alone? And it's not even like I got hair in my mouth. Got out. It's not even that like I don't believe in God that like He'll do it for me. It's more of just like wanting to hurry up and have the time come so people could leave me alone. But right now I'm not being pressured. Like no one's rushing me. Everyone's just minding their business. So that's fine. But I think also I'm pretty confident because like I said to myself earlier in the beginning of this year, this is gonna be the year of success. Like I just felt it in my spirit that it'll be successful this year. Even if I don't like do anything with my like YouTube or with my writing, I still think like regardless in one way or another, it's gonna be a successful year. So I'm pretty confident in that belief, and some things have happened this year to make me like I guess to like question like or like to see if I would doubt it, but those things were hard to watch other people go through, but also to go through myself a little bit. But, at the end of the day, God's got my back. As I point to my chest, God's got me. I know it, and it's okay. But like, also, I want to make it clear that like, 'cause I feel like a lot of times, especially when it comes to Christians, that like whenever like someone wants to talk about an experience that they're going through, people just like to be like, oh, well, just let go and let God. And it's like, yes, true, let go and let God, but don't like not allow them to like talk about what they're going through and talk about like how hard it is for them to go through what they're going through right now. Like, let them be able to explain and process and like let out and like kind of basically just vent about the experience and like how hard it is, because like I feel like a lot of people, they just like, oh, like they don't talk about their problems because they just feel like no one's gonna listen to them. Or like I've seen a lot of people, like a lot of Christian TikTokers on TikTok, they'll talk about how like sometimes it's easier for them to go to their non-religious friends about their problems, because when they go to their Christian friends give them stereotypical, oh, just let go and let God. Oh, like if you're scared, don't be scared because that means you don't trust God and blah blah. Like to the like, even though like what they're saying, it like they could be making points, but it's like you're being insensitive to the person's feelings and emotions, and you're invalidating them, making them feel like they shouldn't have feelings. They should just like whenever something's about to happen, just don't feel. Like you're gonna make them become emotionally numb, and they won't be able to feel anything, and that's not good, Whereas with their non-religious friends, they'll be like, oh, I'm so sorry you're going through that, I understand what you're going through, or like, I'm sorry you're going through that, like here's some advice, or they'll just be there for them. And I feel like a lot of Christian people need to be that way in general. Like, yes, give them the advice that they need, but also if they want to just like if they just want you to be there just to listen to them, listen, be the open ear, because it's like you're supposed to be slow to speak. What was the verse? I don't know the scripture by the top of my head right now, but there's a verse where it says be slow to speak, quick to listen. And a lot of people don't do that. They're quick to they listen to people and then respond to people to just they listen to respond, and they're not listening to pay attention. Like, just listen to the person whenever they're talking about things, even if it's nothing to do with like religion. If it's just them venting about a problem that they're going through, just listen to them. And then I feel like I saw this post on like Instagram, I think a few days ago, where it was like, oh, like it's a very good thing to be like, oh, do you want me to give you advice, or do you want someone to you just want an ear for someone to listen to you? And I feel like there's like literally the Bible tells us to do that exactly. Like, listen, like, yes, give them advice, but also be slow to speak and quick to like. What's the Bible verse? I need to figure it out like right now. I know what I'm talking about, I promise. Let me look it up, because I want to be able to say it verbatim. I'm not gonna know where it's at. Let me just give me 1 second. I'm gonna figure it out. Slow to speak. No, that's not what I was going for. Plans. No, slow to speak. Verse. Can you find it? I guess this is it. That's the King James version. Let me read it in a more understandable language. Let me do NLT. Okay, this is James. This turned into a kind of like a biblical thing. I'm not sorry. I was gonna apologize, but I'm not going to. James, this is for the Christian people that like to invalidate others whenever they're trying to express their feelings. This is for y'all. Listen, James not me not knowing how to speak. James chapter 1 verse 19 says, in NLT version, understand this, my dear brothers and sisters, you must all be quick to listen, slow to speak. If you're quick to speak and slow to listen, you're doing the opposite of what God said. You're doing the complete opposite, babes. Listen to the Bible. I don't know where that came from. I'm not sorry I did that. Anyway, slow to speak and slow to get angry. So, yeah. So just be slow to speak, quick to listen. What is that? I need to like memorize that for the next time someone interrupts me. Random tangent. I'm gonna go on another episode about that podcast or whatever. I hate being interrupted. It pisses me off. But anyway, I just wanted to say that. But James 1:19. I'm going to memorize that so I can say that next time someone interrupts me. But like, the Bible says you must be quick to listen, slow to speak. So anyway, yeah, I'm done talking. But yeah, I just wanted to basically, my eyes are very much burning right now. Oh man, it might be because they're dry or something. But yeah, I just wanted to like, acknowledge that I've come to this realization, and to anyone that is maybe someone else is feeling this way, you know, who knows, I don't know, this was more for me than for anyone else. But if you also feel this way, or you've been experiencing this, or you did in the past, and then you feel, you know, you like someone else is that experiencing it, I don't know what I'm telling you. Basically, this was more for me than for anyone else. But if you also related to, then just know that you are heard, you are seen, you are valid. You are valid in your emotions, you are valid in your feelings. And if someone invalidates you, I'm sorry they invalidated you, but you have the right to have feelings. You are important to me and to God. More to God than to me, because I don't know who you are, but God knows who you are. I don't, but I can get to know you in the comments, you know? But yeah, so anyway, that was my little epiphany that I've come to recently about, it was mostly about school, because I think I just needed to like just finally make the move to just be creative and just do what I need to do my writing. Because I don't know if I said that in this video, but I remember in my junior year, first semester of college, I was taking classes that I liked, and then I remember being in my digital storytelling class. I was working on a project where we had to write a short film. It was like a 1 minute short film. And I remember, like, I'm pretty sure it was the Holy Spirit, because it was a soft whisper in my ear that was this, not in my ear, but like I heard it. It was in my head. If you get it, you get it. Basically, it was like, this is what you're meant to do. And I was filming a project that I wrote the script for it, and I was co-directing it, but I wrote the script for it. And then I heard a voice being like, this is what you're meant to do. It was a nice soft whisper, like, this is what you're meant to do. This is like, you know, this is what you're meant to do. So I think I need to just do it. I need to just make the videos that I want to make, and write the novels that I want to write the stories that I want to write the movie that I want to write, you know. And I also realized that I have a lot to say. Like, I'm a very, like, in person, I'm a very anxious person. If you know, you know. But in social, like, areas, I'm very quiet, because it's 30% I don't have anything to say, 30% I have nothing nice to say, 30% I don't know what to say, and 10%, actually, it's like 40%, no, it's not 40% fear. If it's around a bunch of strangers, people that have social anxiety, they know. You know, that's all I'm gonna say. I'm not gonna explain it. If you know, you know. You know, if you know, you know. But yeah, and I've also experienced a lot of things. So, I could write about my experiences, and like, not like, and that's what also I kind of want to do, because writing for me was like a good form of therapy. It's very therapeutic for me. And where was I going with that? I have a lot of stories that I want to tell, but sometimes they involve talking about people that I don't talk to anymore, or that are still in my life, and I don't want to like villainize them. You know what I mean? Because everyone's a human. You know, everyone makes mistakes. Everyone like had their ups and downs, and you know, everyone has had their moments when they're either the toxic person or they're just the person that made a mistake. Because I know in my past I've done a lot of bad things, like a lot of things that I'm not proud of, that I've apologized about. Yeah, so I know I can be my own, you know, I'm not always the innocent person in a situation. So I'm pretty sure some people can say some bad stories about me, and if you can, I'm sorry that I'm the villain in your story. I hope that, you know, I hope I can say sorry to you in person, or if not, I hope you forgive me. Yeah. But yeah, so I have a lot to say about stories that the things that I've experienced in my personal life that can make into a story, but also just I can just come up with a lot of other stories in general too. So, yeah, that's it. I'm done talking. This kind of was like a podcast, but I'm gonna make a YouTube video. I don't know. It might be a podcast episode to be TBH. But yeah, so that's it for today's video. Even though I said it was a podcast, but it's a video. That's it for today's video or podcast. That's it. I'm gonna make it a video. I don't care. That's it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed hearing me rant for like 46 minutes about not nothing, but just randomness. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and if you did, please smash the thumbs up button, and if you are not subscribed, subscribe to my channel, because a good percentage of y'all that watch my videos are not subscribed. So just hit the red button that's to subscribe, hit it, it'll turn gray, that means you're subscribed, and also there's a bell right next to it. Hit that bell and you'll be notified whenever I post a new video, whether it's a YouTube video or a podcast video. Yeah, so, and you can follow my other social medias. My Instagram and TikTok are just @AnnaTheCash. My Twitter is joyful_cash. And you can also listen to my podcast. It's Random Chats with Anna on Spotify, Anchor, Apple Podcasts, and other platforms as well. You can also follow the podcast Instagram to be notified about new updates or whenever I'm posting a new podcast episode or just the audio version, the video version. The Instagram is Random Chats with Anna. You can also just follow it just to help me get followers, because why not? And if you want, you comment down below if you agree with, if you felt the same way I felt about this, about my epiphany that I just come to the realization of. If you're going through the same thing that I'm going through, or you went through it already, and you just want to say something, word of advice, or you just want to talk about, anything else, you can leave it down in the comments down below. Ooh, sorry. I really need to eat. I'm hungry. But yeah, so that's it for today's video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.